Alright, so I am going to do Lisa's quest for her new outfit. There is something else I do want to do today. Let me just go to a statue. I don't like seeing him not being at full health. I increased all my characters to level 20 as a base minimum so I could get the blue wishes from all of them. Come on. You can do it. Yay! So all my characters are now at a minimum level 20. So that was 20 characters I had to level up. At least I'm pretty sure it's 20 because I got 20 wishes out of it.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as
So
my
it had to
big
have been
sister.
20 wishes that I got that were blue. That sounds like a lot. No, it was 16, sorry. 16. No, I remember now. I remember looking at the number in the corner. 16 characters went up to level 20. So out of this, I actually got one fantastic thing that like, oh my gosh, where did this come from? I got the Aquila Favonia, which is Jean's best in slot. It's literally her weapon. So I need to work on that so I can give that to her rather than the sacrificial sword she's running. I am a little concerned I'm going to absolutely lose the energy recharge, which she like fantastically uses, especially because of her heals. So I'm not, the happiest about that. But if I look at her artifact stat priority, they all have energy recharge as a priority. So I'm also going to have to look at her artifacts, which could be interesting. But anyway, let's just start with Lisa and we'll go from there. A librarian's long and carefree vacation. Effendi, we've chatted to him a few times. The Academia's liaison officer is looking for suitable volunteers for a long-term research project under the Spantamad Darshan, which I'm assuming was her alma mater.
Wait.
Smeru. C-D. Boom. And I'm also contemplating leveling up Kashing as a replacement for Beto, which is silly. It really is. Because my Beto is C5, and I realized she can easily become C6 because in the store, she's here for 34 watts majiggers. I don't have 34 watts majiggers because I've been spending them on these, but if I can make wishes, then I will get them. Problem is, this will end before the next characters drop. I'm pretty sure. So she's going to change out before I can get to her, which is a real shame. But there's the opportunity there to get her to C6. I just wish I'd noticed that before I spent the bloody things on the wishes. Rip. And I got another Bennett from the Blue Wishes. Not that that's relevant to me at all.
Greetings! Welcome to the Citadel of Regzar. Would you be interested in taking on some commissions?
Absolutely not. I'm still trying to get this one goddamn commission to proc for Mondstadt, and it's not happening, sir.
Are there any easy jobs where we can earn loads of Mora for just standing around? Oh, better yet, for just sitting around? That's the kind of task we're interested in now.
Hey, Paimon. It's called a security guard. That's the first one.
We don't currently have any commissions like that.
You're so
However, I
earnest.
do have some relatively simple requests from residents that will pay several thousand Mora.
Such as?
Really? That's all? That isn't nearly enough for Paimon.
The more, the better. We want something a little more lucrative, please, sir.
Yeah. Effendi, are there any high-paying commissions available?
Well, probably, but you've got to put the work in, Paimon.
Ah, I see. Let me think. Spantamad recently initiated a research project on the ley lines and is looking for paid volunteers.
Oh, I see how it is. I'm going to have to kill things.
There are several researchers in Spantamad who specialize in studying ley lines, so there is a great demand for ley lines data. Researchers often need to enter domains to investigate ley line disorders.
Ew, I thought you just meant the ones in the wild. What was Lisa's specialty, by the way? I don't mean, obviously she's from Spantamad, but like, what line of interest was hers? All I know is that she's a librarian. Any other lore that I know about Lisa, I've completely forgotten because I haven't dealt with her in so long.
They have been understaffed for some time. even after recruiting a good number of their own students. So, now they've turned to recruiting large numbers of volunteers.
I mean, fair enough. It's probably easier and you're going to get more of them.
They offer substantial pay, but they also have strict requirements for the quality of the volunteers. Are you interested?
Sir, I am top of the shelf whiskey quality. I'm good. What are the requirements?
Yes, let's walk through the recruitment process. First of all, are you proficient with one or more types of weapon?
I am skilled with one-handed swords. Actually, I'm proficient with all sorts of weapons. Actually, that's not true. Lunara is not.
Very good. How's your understanding of elements? Are you capable of using elemental powers?
Interesting phrasing here. Because the only people who are capable of using elemental powers are people with visions. So it's interesting that they didn't phrase the question as, do you have a vision? Because then my answer would have been no. But because the way they specifically phrased it, the answer is yes. It's kind of weird. I know a lot about elemental reactions. I'm experienced at using elemental powers in battle.
All right, I'll put you down as the traveler, right? Okay, I finished the registration. I'll be coordinating the necessary supplies and payments for volunteers later. You'll have to find Gafoor for more details
I don't know
about
what
the job.
Gafoor.
However, he has an important visitor today, so I don't think he'll be in the academia. According to the standard protocol for receiving visitors, he will most likely bring the visitor to the Puspa Cafe.
What a name.
You can go there and talk to him when his time with the visitor has finished.
Where is that? The only place I know is the tavern on the entry to Sumeru. Cafe. No, that's the only one I know, right?
He sounded like he was in quite the rush to recruit volunteers when he contacted me. But
with the male bartender
now
owner.
he's showing a visitor around. Seriously, who could be so important?
Who indeed? I suppose you don't know Lisa, so that makes sense. So that's what I'm thinking of. Lombard's Tavern. Yeah. There's a cafe here? Where? Have I been here before? Probably could have cut across, but oh well. We'll go manually. Sorry, biting with my mouse again. I don't know what's up with the cable these days. Anywho. Round we go. Have we been here before? Meh, I don't recall it. If I have been here, it would have been on my first run through of Sumeru City.
Do you still remember what the coffee's like here?
Of course. How could I forget? It used to be my go-to drink here. Listen, Gafoor. I suppose I should call you Professor Gafoor now. We're old acquaintances, so how about we stop beating around the bush? First you wanted to catch up, and now the coffee. If you have something to say, just say it.
Oh, that's Gafoor. He's the one we're searching for. But he seems to be busy talking with someone else. Maybe we should wait for them to finish.
See, that makes no sense. Lisa is literally side on to them. They can see her in profile. How do they not recognize her?
Oh, well, it's nothing really. It's
Oh, they're
just that
diagonally
ever
across.
since you
Okay,
left
I
the
see.
academia, our original projects and plans have lost their backbone, so to speak.
I thought they were more like straight on. So it's like how do you not understand the side of her face? But okay, you're diagonally back. That makes a little more sense.
Cyrus is also disappointed. He's always valued you as a proud disciple. To be honest, it's a real shame that you left the academia, Lisa.
I forgot how bright her eyes are.
With your wisdom and intellect, had you stayed in the academia, you would have become a herbot by now.
It's Lisa. What is she doing here?
Hold on. That's Lisa. The librarian Lisa. Our Lisa. Paimon heard that Lisa had studied at the academia before, but that was a long time ago. What's Lisa doing here now?
If I'm reading the situation right, you're reminiscing about the past to convince me to come back, aren't you?
Well, I heard that you're currently the librarian for the Knights of Favonius in Mondstadt. If you ask me, that's a tragic waste of your talents.
I mean, I kind of agree. It is a massive waste of her talents, but she's happy there, and I think she prefers life in Mondstadt to Sumeru.
Why waste your time and energy on something as trivial as taking care of a library?
She's got a braid
Your
down the
time
side.
is much more valuable than that. If you're willing to come back to the Academia, I have plenty of projects for you to preside over right away. The Academia needs people right now, and some of these projects are quite important.
Yawn. So all this talk is to convince me to come back. I'm guessing Professor Cyrus doesn't know that you're talking to me about this.
As a matter of fact, he has long wanted you to come back and work at the Academia.
Is that so? You know, Professor Gafoor, it isn't a good idea to lie to people. Our teacher knows exactly why I left the Academia after only 2 years. He would never ask me to come back.
She only spent 2 years there? That's barely anything. Why did you leave? Lisa, I have questions. Many questions.
Giving up my life in Mondstadt and returning to the Academia as a Spontamod researcher. The price of seeking wisdom is no longer something I'm willing to pay. So please, don't bother trying to get me to come back.
Wow! So Lisa used to be a Spontamod researcher? Paimon's never heard her mention it before.
Keep your voice down, child.
Besides, taking care of a library is important work. I've never considered it a waste of my time.
I'm not saying that being a librarian is a waste of time, Lisa. I just mean with somebody with your intellect, wisdom, and skill set, it's a bit of waste. But I do understand that it's your passion, which is why I am happy for you to keep doing it.
Wisdom is hidden in every corner of the world. Never underestimate wisdom, no matter how small it may appear. That's what our teacher always said. A good scholar wouldn't overlook the small details, Gafoor. I'm sorry. I'm still not used to calling you Professor. Nevertheless, the underlying meaning of what you just said is simply wrong. And there's one other detail you probably haven't noticed. 2 people have been eavesdropping on us for quite a while now. Is there anything we can help you two with?
Hello, Lisa?
Long time no see, girl.
Well, if it isn't you two. Long time no see, cutie. Paimon.
Excuse me, but what business do you two have here?
Well, actually, we're here to participate in a research project on ley lines for Spontamod. We just finished registering with Effendi.
Which is when we happened to run into you, Lisa. We didn't want to interrupt your conversation.
A research project on ley lines? Oh, darling. You haven't joined the Academia, have you?
Oh, don't worry, dear. I would rather... Me as a person wouldn't mind it, but me as a traveler would rather kill themselves than be tied down to the Academia. Only as project volunteers.
Alright, Effendi told us a research project is looking for paid volunteers. That's what we came to see Gafoor about.
Paid volunteers? Gafoor, is the Academia really that understaffed? Or are there projects that insist on the use of outsiders?
Mostly column A. I suspect possibly a bit of column B, but predominantly column A.
No. The paid volunteers are for a conventional project to monitor the ley lines. All operations follow the prescribed safety protocols. We rely on a lot of manpower to collect the data. There's no way around it now. But if only you would agree to come back and preside over some matters, we wouldn't have to go through all this nonsense.
Or you could just train people who can take the position. You've got to make yourselves more... You need to work on your advertising, Gafoor. Get new recruits in of good caliber, but you need people to get more interested in the Academia, especially when, you know, opinion of the Academia is kind of like at an all-time low throughout Sumeru. And you also need to like petition to other countries because there are a lot of people who'd like to travel here from abroad.
If memory serves me right, collecting ley lines data requires investigators to go deep into domains, which can be dangerous.
Oh, you're going to come with us and I have to use you in combat? That's interesting. You weren't exactly my favorite combatant, but hey, it's been a while since I've used you.
We've seen our fair share of combat since leaving Mondstadt. Exploring a domain is like a walk in the park to us.
It's been so long now. I can only imagine what wonderful stories you have to share.
So there's nothing to worry about.
Since you two are here to apply for the project, then please wait a moment while I talk to Lisa.
I'm sorry, Gafoor. My answer is still no.
Aren't you even a little bit interested?
Nope.
I have never regretted my decision to leave the Academia. And I don't think that will change in the future.
I thought after all this time you would have a different answer. But you're still as obstinate as ever, Lisa. You've made yourself clear. I'll only make a fool of myself if I keep insisting.
You will, but I mean, good on you for at least trying, because the worst you could do is say no.
In that case, I still have unfinished business to take care of, so I'll take my leave. See you at the Darshan reunion in a few days.
Are you gonna tell me what the domain is?
Yes. Don't worry. I'll be there on time.
As for you two, please come see me later in the Mautiima forest when you're free. We'll need your help with the volunteer work. Oh, and one last thing, Lisa.
Yes?
It sounds like a very threatening yes.
I wish you the best of luck in Mondstadt.
Thanks, buddy. See, he's got a kind heart.
Thank you.
Does Gafur know the reason why she left, though? I think that's only between Lisa and her professor. I don't know why I've got a second character called Cyrus. That's just frustrating.
Well then, cuties. Now that the recruiter is gone, we can sit down and have a good chat.
We could have some tea. This is a cafe, isn't it? You mean Gafur?
Much has been happening within the academia, and Gafur is paving the way for his future.
If only you knew how much has happened to the academia in the last few weeks. Months? Months.
By the way, Lisa, what brought you to Sumeru? Are the Knights okay with you being gone?
Of course. Jean gave me an extended paid vacation. It's rare that I get any time off, so I thought to myself, why not go on a trip and relax a little?
Except then you were accosted by Gafur and you're not quite relaxing.
I don't know how much of our conversation you heard, but I studied in the Spontamad Darshan at the academia for 2 years. But instead of staying at the academia after graduation, I went back to Mondstadt to become the librarian for the Knights of Favonius.
So she is originally from Mondstadt. That's good to know. Interesting though that tenure at the academia is only 2 years. It's only a 2-year course. Jesus, that's the shortest I've ever heard.
So that's why you came to Sumeru, right? To walk around and meet with your old friends and teachers.
I mean, usually like university degrees are at least 3. Why did you choose to leave the academia? Ugh, it feels like a touchy subject.
You'd like to know, wouldn't you?
Damn straight I would.
Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt if I told you.
Hey!
After all, it was ages ago.
I thought that she would put us off.
If anything, it all boils down to a difference in philosophy.
How so?
When I first came to the academia, Professor Cyrus really appreciated my work and invited me to participate in several major projects. But most of those projects ended in failure. To be honest, they went too far trying to achieve wisdom beyond mortal understanding, so failure was only to be expected. I didn't want any part of that lunacy, so I left. Anyway, now that I told you, make sure you keep it between us.
So why didn't you run your own sets of research and experiments within the parameters that were acceptable to you? Why immediately just cut and run, so to speak? I think there's extra details you need to provide here to give me some context. But okay.
Sounds like you've experienced a lot.
I don't wish to return to the academia, even if Professor Cyrus came to ask me personally. Rather than conducting experiments day and night, I'm much more suited for working hours that start after 10 a.m., with regular afternoon tea every day.
Oh, Lisa chose to be a librarian because she doesn't want to deal with hassles all the time.
This is Lisa's style.
I prefer to take things at my own pace when it comes to tiring tasks like a job. And besides, being able to take regular vacations is also really important. It's a pity I didn't even have time to visit that child in Gandharvaville yet. Gafur found me just after I arrived in Sumeru.
Child? Kole? Because in the manga that I haven't read and can't be bothered because it's so short, isn't Kole in Mondstadt with Amber? So I'm assuming you're referring to her?
Speaking of which, what about you two? What brings my favorite cuties to Sumeru?
You're telling us about all that's happened after coming to Sumeru. That is a very long conversation.
I see. Even I didn't expect them to be so bent on their pursuit, wanting to even surpass the gods. Sounds like you were involved in some remarkable events again, and I was completely unaware.
Oh, don't worry. Most of the nations are unaware.
And to think, you were even able to handle a crisis of that magnitude. Cutie, your abilities are really beyond measure.
And they're only going to get stronger because I still have a bajillion countries left to go.
Having accomplished such a feat, I'm sure you must have a lot on your plate right now. I was actually thinking about inviting you two to walk around Sumeru with me. What a pity. It's very rare for us to meet like this.
I'm not that busy. Maybe later.
I plan to spend the next few days visiting around Sumeru City. At the end of my stay, I'll leave from Gandharvaville and return to Mondstadt via Liyue.
Well, you kind of have to because it's in the way.
Who knows? Perhaps we'll bump into each other again in Sumeru City or Gandharvaville.
Is that the game's subtle way of telling me if you want to see Lisa again within the time period, check her out in Sumeru City or Gandharvaville?
Come to think of it, there's something romantic about such a chance encounter like this. It's like icing on the cake for this little vacation of mine. If you see me around, be sure to come and say hello. Otherwise, I might start feeling lonely.
Lol. Teleport waypoint unlocked. To where?
I remember. You two agreed to meet Gafur in Mount Te'in
I'm
Forest to talk about the ley lines research
Yeah, I'm
job.
going.
Feel free to leave if you want to go look for him. As for me, I think I'll spend a little more time at Puspa Cafe.
I'm going alright. I'm going north to... Oh, that's the thingy you're talking about teleporting to. I see. I thought we were talking about the cafe, and I'm like, why would you put a teleporter in the cafe? That makes, like, no sense. Well, that's the domain. Oh, there he is. Miles away. Gafur?
There you are. Looks like you two are ready.
You betcha.
Very well. Let me inform you of some details.
Plez.
Spontamod has been involved with the ley lines for a long time, and it's imperative that their current is constantly monitored. This research project was also organized to help meet this demand. However, because abnormal fluctuations often occur in Sumeru domains, we must regularly send people deep into various domains to record the situation with the ley lines. Since it's often dangerous inside the domains, we've established a rule of only dispatching personnel with combat capabilities. It'll be your task to go into the domain and record any ley line anomalies. However, if you encounter any danger, please prioritize your safety. Well, those are all the necessary details. When you're ready, you may enter the domain.
Cool, but how many times must I do this to unlock her outfit? In each second blooming event challenge, travelers must form 3 teams and engage in 3 consecutive rounds of combat. Well, that sucks. They must defeat all opponents in the allotted time and can earn bonus points from the time they have left. You will earn different levels of insignias based on the score you obtain. You know, this is kind of sucky for people who are new to the game and haven't had time to, you know, flesh out 12 characters. I mean, I don't even have 12 characters, I don't think, that are of sufficient level, so I'm going to struggle. And I've casually played this for over 2 years. It's getting a little ridiculous with this number. Oh, and yeah, okay, that's what happened last time. Yeah, it's same. None of this is new. It's
scribe's
all
work
the
is
same.
which is
So how
exactly
many
what-
times must I do this? 5 times is what you're telling me. Complete all the yeah, so you gotta do 5 challenges. And you've got to get 10,000 points from the challenges. How many points? I need only 2,000 from each to get the primer gems. And that would get me my 10,000. Okay, so I just need to achieve a base minimum of victory. Fair enough. Okay, Jean needs to be in a party where she can go in 2 parties. Start. I don't need multipliers. It shouldn't be that difficult. Okay, Jean, you can go first because then you go down. Someone who'll only be used once. That's Big Beta. I guess... I don't know that picking Lisa multiple times is the best idea I've ever heard. But Alhaitham, wait, no. Is your Alhaitham going to be better than my Alhaitham? I'm taking my Alhaitham. I put effort into him. I'll take Ayaka. Although Ayaka is really strong. Yeah, whatever. Shen her. Oh, going down twice? No. Ayaka. And then... really doesn't matter, but she synergizes with him. Put Shanha in the, whatever. Traveler. Okay, you two synergize. It doesn't matter who I put there. You're not really a team player. I suppose Lisa can be used, you know, just maybe. Even though it's meant to be her thing. Alrighty, what have we got here? We've got a clusterfuck is what we've got. Let's work on another team. You're Hydro-y. Do we have a Hydro synergy situation? After you trigger, no. Ooh, Electro. That's going to be you, dear. Jesus, that's complicated. Why do I have to equip? I didn't have to do that with people. Dendro. Hunter Mastery. Attack. Attack will be for you, my friend. Crit damage. Oh, you also dealt with crits, but whatever, you can go there. Sure. Whatevs. Let's pretend that's a thing. Probably shouldn't have put Jean on my first party. Just FYI, because she'll need to heal the party. Alrighty. Heal them from the time period. Got it. Just clobber them until they no longer clobber.
Here you are. Scatter.
Why was that so easy? I didn't even get to my next character. That was really sad. Like really, really sad.
Guide us. Here. Flee. We shall prevail.
Flicker.
Why are you so weak?
Deflect.
Why are y'all so weak? It's embarrassing. You're embarrassing me. Still my OP character. Aether. Never change. Party 2. No, this is party 3.
Propagate!
Surrender and I'll be gentle. Come a little closer. You're in for a...
Oh my god, her cooldown is so quick.
Unleash! Do your master's bidding!
Of course you're Hydro.
Come a little closer. You're in for a little shock. Manifest!
Yeah. This is not good.
You're in for a little shock. Unleash!
Come on, get through the barrier. Just get through the barrier.
You're in for a little
There
shock.
we go. Wow. That was a struggle. Oh god, we're gonna nail it. Side's got to do that 5 times, yo. I can do that 5 times. Please keep my party as much intact as possible. Fuck you, game. Whatever. Let's just throw everybody... whatever. In... Oopsies. Great. Buffs. Who needs buffs? Honestly. I'm sure we're fine without needing the buffs. Great, let's go.
Wind, hear me.
Nowhere to run. Through me, justice is served. You stand condemned. Your penance is due.
There are a lot of enemies here. 28.
Guilty.
Sakura swirl. Manifest. By ordinance divine. Barbados, guide us.
Your sins weigh upon your soul.
That's one.
Pennant?
Dead. A lot more time consuming with a suboptimal party. Just using levels to brute force it. Oh, healing is definitely going to be necessary in this one. What if you kill them quickly enough?
Kamisato Ari. Suiyu.
Yeah! Embrace the ice!
Here you are. The process of elimination.
You come back here.
Barbados!
Round 3.
Wind, hear me!
I wish I have a healer for everything. That's something. Let's skip beta.
Eyes on me! Spring forth!
I wonder because she attacks so quickly. She's using Beta's ability quite well.
I swear by my sword! Flee!
Yeah, I've never seen these before. These are new. I don't like them.
Grant us your blessing! Yield! To ashes!
Scatter!
There's time limits. You never notice. Doesn't matter. Museum of Innocence complete. Lower points than last time, but then again, I didn't exactly plan the parties. I just shoved them in. We're fine. We just need to do that 3 more times. Have suboptimal parties and just bulldoze our way through it.